Hey everyone, I'm Rohma Theunissen and welcome to True Talks. Today I am so excited to have on board the woman behind the flawless glow of the world's top A-listers. Her clients include Penelope Cruz, Sienna Miller, Rosie Huntington Whiteley, and so many more. And if you want to get an appointment with her, you have to wait about 6 months. Her name is Dr. Nigma Talib, and she is one of the world's most sought after naturopathic physicians. Dr. Nigma, it's such a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for all your patience with the time confusion this morning and for coming on board today.
No, thank you guys for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you.
Just to give a little bit of insight, there was a little bit of daylight savings issues going on this morning. So unfortunately, she was online waiting. I can't say thank you enough for still coming on to True and Beyond to talk. We know how busy you are. Dr. Nigma, you're one of the pioneers when it comes to investigating the link between digestive health and premature aging. Could you tell us a little bit about the correlation between the two?
Absolutely. So in your gut, it's like a whole universe in there. So you have about 100 trillion bacteria in your gut. Okay. So they're all living, and you have like more bacteria in your gut than you have cells on your body and for your entire body. Yeah. So it's a whole like ecosystem. And the beauty of that is these bacteria actually protect us, and they protect us from inflammation. They protect us from bad bacteria, candida, but they can also be good bacteria that turn corrupt, kind of like good cops turn bad, and cause inflammation, and guess what? Premature aging, which is what none of us want. And so, the digestion is the basically the key to your health, and looking at the digestion, I call it digest aging, when you're prematurely aging from poor digestion. So digestion plays a massive role in how your skin ages, how your skin inflames, and then basically how your skin appears. And so a lot of people have this, this idea that they need to use good skincare, and that's the only thing they need to do, and that's only really half the story, and actually less than half the story. There's a lot of internal work that you can do that can make your products work for you even better.
Absolutely. I think I mentioned to you earlier that I look after my digestive health, and I actually have noticed since I cut out dairy and minimized gluten that my skin has been perfectly clear. And I absolutely see the impact of it. Now, what I would love to understand is how, what you have been doing this for about 15 years. I know there's a lot of talk right now on and a lot of focus on gut health and everything that comes with it, like inflammation and all of that. But you've been doing this for 15 years. I would love to understand, how did you decide to get into studying the impact of gut health on, a person's overall well-being?
So naturopathic medicine in general focuses on gut health. Naturopathic medicine has been around for, hundreds of years. And naturopathic doctors always look at the root cause of why somebody has, for example, if you have eczema, if you have psoriasis, if you have acne, all of that is coming from your gut. So that's based in our basic training. It's in our DNA of our training. So it was really easy for me to then go ahead and treat patients that would come in who had skin issues. I really got excited about skin because skin is one of the most difficult things to treat. So if somebody has eczema, it's, they're put on a steroid. Their diet and their lifestyle, none of those things are ever looked at. And it takes a really long time for you to see the results. So I wanted to do the inside out approach and get patients optimal at the quickest, so that their eczema wouldn't come back and they wouldn't have to go back on steroids, or their acne wouldn't come back and they wouldn't have to go back on hormones. So, trying to achieve that is just part of my training as a naturopathic doctor. So it came very naturally, pardon the pun.
No, absolutely. I think a lot of people actually forget that the skin is our largest living organ, it's our largest organ, and we forget that all the time. I mean, I remember a physiotherapist telling me that I was sore after workouts, and he actually said, "Do you moisturize?" I was like, what? He's like, you hydrate your body, but do you moisturize your skin? And I just never thought of the two going together. And, you know, it absolutely makes sense that your largest organ would showcase symptoms if something else is wrong inside, isn't it?
And it's interesting, your skin is the last organ to get the nutrients. So your nutrients go to your liver, your spleen, you know, all your other organs, and then the skin is the last one to receive whatever's left over. So, you know, in addition to a very, very good diet, which is obviously the foundation to good health, ingestible nutritional supplements are a must, because most of us are deficient in vitamin A, C, E, zinc, selenium. All of us, like 60+% of us are, you know, deficient in these, because our food sources, number one, don't contain those nutrients. And number two, how many of us have amazing digestion, right? So are you going to absorb those nutrients from the food anyway? So it's a double, you know, double whammy there.
So I'm so happy you touched on supplementation, because that was something that Miriam and I were initially, when we wanted to talk to you, that was something I was really keen on touching upon, because there is so much information out there on supplementation that it's both contradictory and it's also very, very confusing. What would you say is the absolute essential supplementation that everyone looking into keeping a healthy glow should have within their daily regimen, routine, you know?
So we look at everyone, and in general, you know, countries that, you know, have darker skinned individuals, even in the Caucasian population, vitamin D deficiency is massive. You know, most people, you know, 80 to 90% of the patients I saw in the UK, also in Los Angeles, are deficient in vitamin D, because how many of us actually go outside and are outside all day long? We're not hunter and gatherers, you know, like our ancestors were. So we're indoors most of the time. We're on blue light devices like we are right now. And that depletes the amount of absorption of vitamin D that goes into your skin via the sunlight. So these blue light devices reduce our absorption. Also, as we age, we have a less ability to manufacture the vitamin D from the sun. So we have to take vitamin D orally, because vitamin D is more, think of it as a pro-hormone, okay? An anti-inflammatory. So you're like eating, you know, it's impossible to get it from food. It's just virtually impossible to get the amount you need. So I recommend vitamin D3, and I recommend vitamin D3 with K1, vitamin K1 and K2, because K1 and K2 actually take the vitamin D and put it in your bones and increase the absorption. So even vitamin D on its own is not as optimal. So you always have to look at synergy and combining vitamins and minerals. And that's what naturopathic doctors do extremely well. I mean, this is what we do, is we make sure that our patients are on really high grade, therapeutic, good quality supplements.
Amazing. And what about probiotics and prebiotics, even, that I've seen recently started coming across? I don't even know what prebiotics really are. What about those? How important of a role do those play in maintaining your digestive health and in regulating your body and keeping everything as it should be?
So yeah, prebiotics are basically fermented, you know, it's basically your bacteria in your gut that, you know, end up pooping up this substance, you know, they're called short chain fatty acids. And the prebiotics help make that, which actually helps strengthen the gut lining, and also increase the ability of probiotics in the body. However, I prefer to get prebiotics from food. So things like kimchi, garlic, onions. Now, if you have something called small intestinal bacteria overgrowth, you're going to get quite gassy with those foods. So again, a probiotic for me, supplement-wise, is absolutely something a lot of people, if not everyone, should be taking, because we're exposed to bacteria, we're exposed to viruses, we're exposed to all kinds of microbes that enter. You know, think about it. The only thing that separates us from the external environment, our digestive system, gets information from the outside environment, food that we eat, and digests that food. So we have to make sure whatever information we're bringing into our gut, we have the good bacteria to fight off any kind of bad guys that decide to get in.
Amazing.
Without permission.
And you also have your own supplements line, correct? I've seen, I was investigating and researching, and they look incredible. Could you tell us a little bit more about that and what it encompasses?
So I created a bunch of nutritional supplements, just really for my patient base. And then what had happened was, Net-a-Porter ended up taking the supplements. They've taken off supplements from now, but they're putting it back on soon. So stay tuned. It was really big for ingestible beauty, what you can take internally to help the external environment. And as a naturopathic doctor, you cannot just do skincare. And so I created like a beauty cocktail collagen, which comes in this cute little sachet, and it has everything you need. Like it has all the electrolytes, because we know we're all deficient in electrolytes. It has lucuma and amla CoQ10, and it has 5 grams of marine collagen, the marine collagen that was studied in the south of France that actually helps reduce fine lines and wrinkles and increases collagen production naturally in the skin. Alongside, I put some probiotics in here just because I thought this would be a really good all around one a day to add to water. And, I'm drinking it right now. I take it every day because water alone dehydrates you, believe it or not, because it's too, if you look at the osmolarity of water, it doesn't have any electrolytes in it or minerals. No. And so we need those in order to absorb water.
I never, ever heard that before, that water can dehydrate you. I had no idea. That is crazy. Wow.
And people that drink a lot of water are super dehydrated because they're peeing out all their nutrients. They're peeing out their magnesium. So, be careful when you're drinking too much water. Make sure you add some electrolytes to that.
Wow, that's incredibly helpful information. And the beauty cocktail that you have created, will it also be on Net-a-Porter, or
I hope so. So it's on Nordstrom right now for people in the US. And I've also got the vitamin C cocktail that is also on Nordstrom and on my website. Mm-hmm. But yeah, hopefully Net-a-Porter should be carrying it so you guys can have access to it over there.
Oh my God, that would be incredible. I cannot wait to get my hands on your supplements. I actually went on Net-a-Porter to see if I could buy them, but they weren't there. So I'll keep looking out. I'm conscious of time, so I'm just going to ask you a couple more questions, if that's all right.
Sure.
Thank you. And I wanted to understand, there's a lot going on in terms of diets right now. You have like paleo, you have keto, you have anti-inflammatory. What are your thoughts on these diets, and which would you say is most beneficial to maintaining a healthy gut?
Yeah, the diet thing is, I think it really puts people in a box, and it puts, people, I think anything that makes you eat very, too rigid is, difficult for people to do. And therefore, I mean, that's when I wrote my book. I created the 4 Faces of Aging to educate people, why does dairy make you feel crappy? Why does gluten, sugar, and wine make you feel horrible? And I think it's all about balance. It's an 80-20 rule where, 80% of the time you're doing things that, I mean, listen to your body. If you eat something, even if it's garlic, because we know garlic is good for you, but if it makes you feel bad, I think you need to be really intuitive about, or present or focused, mindfully how you're feeling when you eat certain foods, because one man's poison is another man's, health and nutrients. So we have to always consider our individual needs. I think there's nothing wrong with, following a diet for a period of time, that can be done quite safely. Mm-hmm. But, see how you feel when you're eating a certain way. Does a vegetarian diet for a period of time make you feel good? Great. Then do a vegetarian diet and then move on back, to eating some animal protein and, mix it up, and see how you feel.
What does your personal wellness routine look like? Like, what is it you do to keep yourself looking this fabulous at 9 p.m. in LA after a long
You are so sweet. I literally fast Monday through Friday until about 12 or 1 p.m. And I'll have, like today I had grilled salmon with brown rice and steamed vegetables. And then this evening, I'm going to have lentil soup. And I'll do my, I'll do my supplements as well, and my collagen powder. I'll do my vitamin C powder in my waters and make sure I drink enough water throughout the day, and maybe a cup of herbal tea at bedtime. And that's pretty much it.
Wow. That's a pretty solid routine. And it's very, I love that you see everything in there. You would expect, like a lot of people, for example, run away from carbs. There was this one saying that I heard there's a tweet from Ryan Reynolds. It's like, if I'm in LA and I just wave about a bagel, I could rob a bank.
Yes. I saw that. That was so funny because it was gluten, right?
Yeah. So I love that you have carbs in there.
I do. I need carbs. I need them. They're very, and I did my Pilates workout today as well, which was very difficult today. So I need the carbs for energy and for my brain function, and I just think it's about balance and, seeing what's good for you. Some people don't do well with carbs at all, but then you have to figure out, okay, do you have an overgrowth of yeast or bacteria that might be causing some of this, this inflammation every time you have carbs?
Well, I really, really wish we had you here. Any plans of coming to the Middle East?
Honestly, when things open up again, I would love to. I was actually supposed to be out there right before the pandemic, so it was such a shame. But definitely when things open up again, for sure, I would love to come and visit.
Well, I'm sure there would be a waiting list for you here as well. But I mean, the more I saw your work, the more I was like, I really want to go visit her and just see how she could help make my life better, in a holistic way. I mean, I'm anti-medicine, not anti-medicine, but I just think I do think a holistic medicinal approach works so much better. Medicine just kind of, I feel, tampers the symptoms as opposed to treating the root cause, like you said.
Absolutely. And we have to remember that food is our medicine. So everything we put in our mouth, we think when we put a drug in our mouth, it's going to change, it's going to change the way we feel. Absolutely. But same with food. We have to think about, how is this food that we're eating going to modulate how we feel, how we think, and our energy for the day. So it's a good mindful technique without being overbearingly and, too restrictive.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time. I promised I would keep it brief, but I think I can't appreciate it enough to have you here.
Well, we'll have to do it again in the near future.
Yes, absolutely. And I can't wait to get my hands on your collagen powder, your collagen cocktail, beauty cocktail, right?
Yes. Wish we could get it into Dubai. I would send it to you, but as soon as Net-a-Porter carries it, I will let you know.
That's super exciting. And what we will do is make sure we link your products, because I saw your skincare line is already on Net-a-Porter. We'll just link it so that if anyone's interested, they can keep looking back. But
amazing. Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and we can't wait to have you back.
Thank you so much.
Bye, Darren. Bye.